So with the codes that were thrown, man, this is where I'm at. Placing these cats. This one here, man, doesn't look bad, bro. So, but I'm still replacing it, getting these things done. I've learned a lot about these motors, man. Find out, man, that this VCM is what the biggest issue is. This front bank shuts down, the rear bank still runs. All the exhaust fumes run back through there. That right there is going to be the biggest problem, man. So I'm replacing all of this, and this here, everybody who has a pilot needs one of these. We'll talk about it. What's up with it, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the first full-length video that I have to offer y'all, man. It's been hectic, man. I haven't really had time to be able to sit down, man, and make one of these. I have literally got my grandkids in my custody right now, and beforehand it was easy for me to make videos. Now, man, it's just ridiculously hard. But I want you to know something, man. I'm committed to my channel. I am 100% committed to this. I do a lot of studying on Hondas, on the stuff that I work on. It takes me weeks upon weeks, man, to actually sit down, man, and really dig into something, man, because I don't want to go in half-cocked. So with that, man, it's been a lot of trial, a lot of trial and error, a lot of good things happen too, man. So like I said, man, here is just all about Honda stuff, man. I had another channel, Bills by D Box. It got a little out of hand. You can check it out if you want to. It's kind of dead, man. I still put stuff up, man. I'm gonna still put stuff up there every now and then, but this channel here is my main focus. I love Hondas. I always have, I always will, man. There's nothing ever going to change about that. And I'm telling you, man, and everything that I work on from this point going forward on this channel is going to be nothing but Hondas. All of it's going to be strictly about trying to help people optimize and help people optimize their options, man, as far as DIY and going to shops. Because there is a lot of advantages going to shops, and there's a lot of advantages doing it DIY. But you know, me personally, man, I just don't trust shops, man. I've been doing this, man, since I was 17. I got my certification as a mechanic when I was 17, and through my high school on top of that. So yeah, it's just then I haven't been recertified, and you know, every 5 years, man, you have to be recertified, man, and I just refuse to go through it, man. I did it in the beginning, but nowadays it's just the criteria is just way too high, so I just stick to what I know and study what I need to know. And right now, my Honda Pilot is about the only thing that I really need to be knowing right now. Because let's talk about this. Let me show y'all something. Now, with this thing here, it's been a chore. As you see, I am working on the cats. This thing here, man, is not clogged. When you look at it, you can still see straight through it, man. But it's a problem, and so I know that's not the problem. What the issue is in here. Let me show you real quick. The VCM is what caused is a big problem on this thing, man. Let me get this off here. The VCM on this motor is a real issue. Now, anybody knows about these Honda V6s, that when it goes, man, when the VCM, which is the variable cylinder management, kicks in, the front bank shuts down and the rear bank stays operating. Now, what happens is, what's going on here is all the heat is generally running through this rear bank due to the fact that it's if you're always in idle speed, this front bank is always going to be shut down. So if you do a lot of highway running like this was done, then this front bank isn't going to see a lot of exhaust, isn't going to see a lot of exhaust gas compared to this back one, due to the fact that it's always activated when it goes into idle speed. So what I figure is right now, what the issue is because of the VCM. And what I've done with the VCM thus far already is I've added a VCM tuner. This here was a $80 piece that I went ahead and ordered, because when this thing went into VCM mode, you felt the whole car shift, and then it just started riding rough, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's just the motor mounts." I got to thinking about it, man, and I got to watching videos, I got to reading forums, I got to talking to even started talking to Honda techs and everything about this whole thing. They said, man, motor mounts go bad, but people say the same thing about the VCM, man. It's a terrible, man. It causes a lot of disruption in the motor. Now, if it was an inline six, it wouldn't be. If it was an inline six, it wouldn't be a problem. But let me tell you, let me give you a short story about this, man. Back in the 70s, I think it was the early 80s. GM tried something like this with their Cadillac. We tried something like this with their Cadillac. It was called the 468, which, when you turned around and if you're driving in the city, it turned around, man, and pretty much the same thing. As the RPMs drop, the less cylinders are used. So it was a terrible concept back then, but it was more balanced due to the fact that the motor was basically ran as a rear-wheel drive car, so it never had any issues. This, on the other hand, is a front-wheel drive vehicle, so it doesn't make sense for just one bank to be operating. It should be both banks operating, but operating with maybe 4 cylinders, probably it would make more sense. But the way they got it set up, man, it just throws the entire motor off balance. Which turns around and gives you bad motor mounts, which usually turns around and usually ends up in catastrophic failure with your motor. I advise you to get a VCM tuner, man, if you buy one of these, especially an older one, because you're going to need it. Because this thing here, if you don't change the motor mounts and you don't fix what's wrong with it, you're going to have issues. So what I'm doing, man, this thing came up from Texas. So what I'm doing with it, man, thank God that none of the bolts are actually rusted. I was able to break all this stuff loose. I'm changing out the cats. I'm doing everything that needs to be done with this car, man, with this truck, man, because all of this is just maintenance. Pure maintenance. That's all this is. So what I'm trying to do is, I have everything here. Let me show y'all real quick. I got my grandson out here, man. That's one of my grandsons. The other one's over there. So, but yeah, as you see, I got my grandsons out here, man, learning. This is what we're doing here, man. So back to this. I got O2 sensors here that I'm going to be replacing. These are the cats, man. These are the precats, man, that I'm going to be that I'm replacing. But all of this stuff is being replaced because, man, like I said, this thing came from, man. This truck came from an area, man, that in Texas, man, didn't see a lot of, man, didn't see snow, didn't see rain. This, from what I knew, this was basically a highway truck, man. And so now it drove once it got up here, when it first got here, I didn't have any issues out of it. I was running around, then one day it went into limp mode. And I thought that would, and I ran the codes. The throb, man, it said the VTEC actuator was stuck. One of the the VTEC actuator was stuck open. So I changed out the VTEC spool valve, turned around, man, and cleared up the issue for a short period. Then on top of it, man, I started throwing. Then it started throwing these codes, and I barely drive this thing as is, so I wasn't really tripping about it. As snow started flying, I really wasn't planning on driving it. So snow started flying, it pretty much sat in the garage, you know, and I didn't want to turn around. Like I said, I didn't want to deal with it. I knew it had problems then, and I wanted to get them done then. But like I said, I don't have a heater in my garage, so it's extremely cold, and I couldn't really get to this until now. Now, with that being said, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get all this together, get it fixed, man, get all this shit put back together. So, but like I said, the biggest issue right now is I don't think it was the cat itself, man. I think it's the rear bank precat, man, that I'm having issues with. I really believe that. So I don't plan on finishing this job today. What I am planning on doing is putting this other cat back in, but I really don't want to. I'm thinking about because I need my truck right now, so I pulled that one. I'm gonna put this other one back in. Hopefully, man, this will clear up the issue for a short period. I'm not saying extremely long. I'm saying short period, to where, because I still need to run. I still need to make some runs, parts store mainly. So, but I wanted to see if this is going to clear up wanted to see if this was going to clear up the problem. Mainly because I seen a lot of guys turn around, man, and just replace this cat and not have any issues, because this is usually the one that usually ends up clogged the most. But with my prognosis and a lot of studying and listening to people and watching videos and seeing what the hell is going on, and knowing what the VCM does, and knowing how it works, and knowing good and damn well, man, the exhaust fume, man, that if you turn around and you have too much gas, man, if you turn around and if you leave a cat, man, if you leave something like that, man, unchecked, that is going to cause issues. So I don't know if it's the let me see what I'm saying here. I don't know if it's the O2 sensors, or it's the cat, or it's the pre-cat. All I know is that all that stuff is getting changed, all of it. So with that being said, man, we're getting ready to get at it, man. As you see, man, I'm busting ass. I do work here, man. Everything I do myself. I trust other people to do it, man, but everything I do here, I do alone. My grandkids are here, man. My wife is here, and that's all I got a few friends, man. They're doing their own thing. I got a homeboy building his own, man, building a coop right now. I got another homeboy building a coop right now. All of them are EGs. Shout out to Lance. Shout out to Chris. Y'all know who y'all are, man. Shout out to my boy Antoine, man. Y'all are the ones that keep me pushing, man. Y'all help me keep pushing forward, man. And thank y'all, man, for subscribing to my channel, man. I really do appreciate it, man, for real. Without y'all, man, this wouldn't happen. So again, bro, thank you. I appreciate it, man. And until next time.